PEGI 18.
The Move Edition features everything that we've done on the game and released, as well as some new extra content, exclusive content that we've decided to put into this very special edition. So there is the whole soundtrack of the game, the dynamic themes that we've created for the game. There's the Taxidermist DLC, as well as making up videos with more than 45 minutes of videos showing how the game's been made. I'm particularly fan of that one because you don't see every day how a game is made, and we tried hard to show all the aspects, everything that went into crafting this very unique experience. And of course, all this comes to as an addition to the game itself, which comes in two versions: the original version using the DualShock controller and the new Move functionality enabled one.
With the Move controller, we wanted really to expand the kind of movements that you can do with it and really allow you to do pretty much everything with a strong sense of mimicry, really having the feeling of doing it physically. So when you open a door, I really want you to make the right move. When you open a drawer, you really actually do it in a very natural way. But also for much more complex actions, wanted to have the same kind of feeling. When you fight, when you struggle, when you drive, whatever you do in the game, I really want you to feel that you're actually doing it with your movements and with a controller. Actually creating this Move edition was quite an easy step for the team. Probably because the initial game design was really about motion control already. So all the work we've done on the DualShock was really about mimicry, about trying to emulate this kind of movement, gestures that the character does on screen. So going back to Move, it was almost going back to our original idea, and instead of doing it with sticks, just trying to see how you can physically do it and make you feel more involved in the scene through motion control. The implementation of the Move control in Heavy Rain certainly adds another layer to Heavy Rain. I think the core essence of the experience is still the same. It's really very emotional, very intense, very story-driven, but at the same time, the fact that you can interact in this really new way with motion control really adds another level of complexity and interest, I think. Actually, we try to find the right balance when we are exploring and just interacting. We didn't want the player to move all around. We wanted a slow pace, and we wanted him to do simple things in a simple way. But when there is an action sequence, we really wanted to leave him, breathless after the scene and really feel again like his character on screen.
The very first scene we started to work on was Sleepless Night. It's both an interesting scene because there's lots of things to do, a lot of different types of interactions, but also a challenging one because at certain places, for instance, you have really a number of possibilities. So we had to find the right iconography for the interface so that the player could really choose what he wants to do. Another challenging scene was the very first action scene we started to work on, namely in Sleazy Place, the fighting scene.
You again?
Scott Shelby is entering into a fight, and this scene is very intense. It's the very first action scene in the game, and you're constantly defending, attacking, doing all sorts of movements. The first time we've integrated this thing together with the Move, it was almost impossible to play because you have to do like this, like this, like this, you were all around, and it took us some time to find the right pacing, to find the right set of movements that would correspond to what was happening on screen and be playable. And that took some time, and it was a big learning for us to fine-tune the action sequences for the whole game. it's not a bad thing to be innovative, and you can certainly be successful if you have a strong vision and you deliver on this vision.
Again, we learned so much from Heavy Rain. We were so pleased with the feedback, both on a critical point of view, a commercial point of view. So we want to build on what we've discovered, so continue to create content for adults based on emotion. This is really absolutely what we want to do, but what keeps us excited about what we're doing. At the same time, I said very early on, before knowing if Heavy Rain would be a success or not, that I would not work on a sequel, just because I see my work as, you know, corresponding to a moment in my life and things I had to say or I wanted to work on at one specific moment. But after Heavy Rain, it's time for me to move on and explore new grounds and try to tell different stories, different worlds in different ways. And this is exactly what we're going to do.